From the bridge, the crew sees where the ship is headed towards. It is also where they drive the ship.
Roger, rate 30.
Charts with the safety of the ship. That means ensuring there's always water under the ship's keel, and she's going on a track that is safe, and she's clear from all other navigational hazards. Managing the ship's progress along the way, what speed she needs to go at, which areas she needs to pass in the day, so on and so forth. Because they predate any concept of territorial waters belonging to states, they are considered commons open to every nation, much like the HDB corridors that are open to everyone. It is therefore, I think, in everyone's interest to keep the sea lanes open, regardless of whether the sea lanes pass through territorial waters, exclusive economic zones, or high seas.
While out at sea, my role includes monitoring the radar so as to pick up vessels far before we are able to see them, and we can avoid coming into close proximity. Visually, we'll be able to see them only at 12 miles. So it's very important that we are able to pick them up, make sure that we can adjust our course accordingly to prevent colliding with each other.
In the North Pacific Ocean, tropical revolving storms or typhoons are common occurrences. The ship and her crew adapt to avoid getting thrown completely off course.
Sea state, in simple terms, represents how rough the sea is. So in the Pacific, it ranges. Sometimes, if on a good day, we can get something like sea state 2. From sea state 3 onwards, even a vessel of this size, 3,000 tons large, will start to roll significantly out at sea. And the higher the sea state goes, the more dangerous it becomes for all sorts of vessels. At these higher sea states, the nav team is really on alert for any rogue wave that might hit the ship at a particular angle, and we drive the ship in a certain manner to ensure stability for everybody on board.
We are tracking one typhoon, Hurricane Douglas, just east of Hawaii.
The problem with the TRS is that the formation area is quite huge, so you don't really know where a TRS is likely to form immediately, especially in the northern hemisphere. They generally transit from the east to the west in a sort of a straight line. However, typhoons will also recurve, and whether or not it recurves, when it recurves, how much it will recurve is always a game of probability. As far as possible, of course, we would try to come up with pre-planned responses to avoid both the typhoon's path in a straight line as well as if it recurves. And making changes are never simple. For instance, I could quickly pick up speed right now to avoid a local storm, but that means increasing fuel consumption that might impact any activities I might have later on.
Having steered clear of an impending storm, RSS Supreme continues on her journey towards Hawaii.
Do hear this. This is your OOW speaking. Ship has just crossed the international dateline of longitude 180 degrees east-west. The dateline is an imaginary line extending between the North Pole and the South Pole and arbitrarily demarcates each day from the next.
Halfway across the world, the crew celebrates our nation's birthday. A reminder that our independence is hard-earned and cannot be taken for granted.
Navigation isn't something that you can take lightly, because we are the first to see the dangers, and we need to be alert at all times. Teamwork and trust plays a big role in my job. We need to work as a strong and a good team. We need to look out for one another's fatigue.
Mariners have come to establish different types of navigation depending on how far away you are from land. If you're really far from land in the middle of the ocean, it's called ocean navigation. Closer to land, it's called coastal navigation. And pilotage is where you are really, really close to land, about just under 4,000 meters away from land. This is an area where the water tends to be far more shallow. It is an intense period where the ship's constantly monitoring where she is and where she's going to ensure safe navigation through a narrow channel, for instance.
The reason I joined the Navy is because the Navy allows me to see lots of things, to have a different perspective of other things other than having a desk-bound job. What do I enjoy being in the Navy is the family spirit that the Navy has provided me with.
After 4 weeks out at sea and more than 6,000 nautical miles later, RSS Supreme has finally reached Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, in time for RIMPAC 2020.